Here we go. Getting set up a little bit. All right. Trying to get a few things set. All right, let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, what's going on? Can you guys hear me? What stocks have I bought lately? What haven't I bought? That's the big question. Man, I tell you what, man, I am tore up laying out in the sun today. I was out for like 2 hours and I am like so drained right now from laying out in the sun today. You have no idea how, you know that feeling like where you're laying out and then you're just like basically drained after that the rest of the day? That's how I feel right now. So there is a Discord chat now. My buddy Conduit and I have been discussing an actual section for us to have conversations at, and everything's free if you sign up on the Discord chat. So if you click that and sign up for Discord, we can actually be in chats together and you don't have to type and stuff. So that would be probably beneficial to you guys, so you can actually talk to me. Or if you follow me on Twitter, you can hop on there as well. Trying to get people on here. People are responding to me. I'm going to jump on Twitter. I'm just getting a few more things before we go. A few more minutes. Who's on? Just trying to let people know that we are live. Whoop. Let me flip it right now. Just trying to let my people on Instagram know that we're live. A few more minutes. Trying to give a shout out to these people on here. Just trying to get the whole community on here. No, I'm not going to swap it out. It was very tempting, but I'll just buy more of EPR since it's down. I have a card. Actually, I have a credit card payment, which is just about done. It was a 5-year plan with. I got a Tempur-Pedic bed, and it was like a 5-year payment plan, 0 interest, and I might as well just throw that money that I normally throw in my credit card and go from there. All right. Matthew Money, there he is. Everyone, welcome Matthew Money, the guy who is doing his job and printing. And by the way, him and I are always in group Twitter chats. He does a phenomenal job in the twits. And Altria is a stock. I literally just did a video on it. Can you guys hear the air conditioning? Hopefully you guys don't hear that in the background. If you do, let me know. I'll just turn it off. But Altria is a stock that's I think I have about, I'd have to look at it. I'm right in the, I try to be like Matt Money, so that's how it is. But Altria, I think I own 20 or so shares, and in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio, I changed the percentage actually to about 7%. And with its dividend increase, it's consistently increasing its dividend. And I'm going to continue to reinvest it. And Matthew Money and I also have a dividend investing strategy with qyld, xyld, and RYLD. I think Matt's mostly RYLD and XYLD, but those monthly dividend stocks that I have in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio, I'm going to focus on buying stocks like Altria. And unfortunately, with Altria, it doesn't matter how much you educate people to not smoke. Unfortunately, people ineffectively use coping mechanisms. Smoking's one of them. Vaping's one of them. And, Altria is invested heavily in the vaping industry, and kids don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you educate them about smoking, and even people can develop popcorn lung or get inflammation in their lungs with oil from the vaping. They're still going to vape and they don't care. And that's the unfortunate thing. So but it's a very hot stock. I just posted a video on it. It increased its dividend. And that company has a very strong reputation of, increasing its dividend. It's very strong. And that's why, people like Matt and I own it. And Matt has an excellent dividend investing strategy. So if you guys are new, to this chat, check his channel out as well. So him and I have been, we've known each other probably about, 6-7 months or so. And things have been, pretty strong with both of our dividend portfolios, his especially. So he has a very strong strategy. And, I need to grow a pair a little bit and be a little bit more aggressive with my dividend investing strategy. But being in graduate school and nurse practitioner school, I'm kind of, on a budget, and I have a certain amount of money that I can put into my dividend portfolio. And I'm very excited to, start increasing with that because, I'm just about debt free. The only debt that I have is on a car. My payments are like, 140. So, my advice to you guys is never buy a brand new car because it depreciates over time. But since it is 9:30, how is it going, everyone? This is Darth Dividend. We are live. I'm going to stay on till about 11 o'clock, and I'm going to tell you, laying out in the sun today beat the hell out of me. And we're here to discuss dividend stocks, dividend increases, dividend stock analysis, and how to evaluate stocks, especially really good dividend stocks. And my first advice to you guys is always look at the dividend history and understand stocks and see if they're in demand. Because when stocks are in demand, let's just give an example of Johnson & Johnson. That stock increases its dividend over time and has phenomenal revenue, and people use products like Johnson & Johnson every day. Now, the big thing with pain meds is Tylenol that they carry, and because of the heroin crisis and the opioid crisis, that's one of the biggest things that's prescribed right now is Tylenol. It's the first wave medication for pain. They usually try to use acetaminophen or Tylenol. And even one of my instructors accidentally said Tylenol instead of acetaminophen, and then she corrected herself. So that's how popular that product is. Don't forget, Johnson & Johnson also has baby products. They have Band-Aids, and their vaccines so-so. I would if my advice to you guys, myself being a registered nurse and working on COVID units, I would probably get Johnson & Johnson. I would get the Johnson & Johnson booster if you already got it. That's one thing, because they're supposed to make it a little bit stronger. But the Moderna and Pfizer stock are a lot better. The Moderna and Pfizer vaccine are a lot better. So the mRNA technology is really kicking off. And I was just going to add on to, thank you for that like, by the way, add on to Pfizer stock. I mean, the thing about, Pfizer is that this is a company that's not just focused on a vaccine, but it also has many, I know, I caught myself. It has many products that are out there for consumers that they need. Unfortunately, hypertension is going to be a crisis. In my advanced pharmacology class that I just took, I mean, they're just saying in the top, they're saying the next 10 years, 2030, that, the healthcare costs for hypertension and hypertensive medications is going to be off the chain. And they carry a lot of medications. One of them is labetalol, and IV push labetalol. There's been labetalol shortages actually in the hospitals because we're using it so much, because people, one, are non-compliant, and people are, unfortunately getting sicker and they have more comorbidities. Hence why people are getting, whacked with the COVID bug, because usually if you're healthy, chances are you're going to be in good shape. And unfortunately, myself wearing my Browns shirt, Myles Garrett was a healthy individual, and he did get tore up from the vaccine. I'm sorry, not the vaccine. He got tore up from the COVID. I did not say he got tore up from the vaccine. All of a sudden, the YouTube police will come after me and shut me down because I'm giving false information. But he got the COVID virus, and his lungs are really tore up. So, you got to use some common sense when it comes to the vaccine. But these products are just so strong, and they're very effective. And African Americans with calcium channel blockers, it's very effective for African Americans. So these guys do carry those, products. And, I pass those meds all the time, the calcium channel blockers that Pfizer carries. So that's another thing to look at, stocks that are in demand. I know that Altria is a sin stock, but people smoke and they don't really care. It's kind of sad to say that. And, you guys can comment about any stocks at any time, things that you think are hot stocks. Feel free to interrupt me at any time in the comment section. But, looking into dividend investing strategies, you have to be well diversified in certain sectors. So I posted a video recently, and I also made a comment on Twitter that I bought more Huntington Bank shares because, you got to be well balanced in certain sectors. Huntington Bank shares is in the financial sector, and it has increased its dividend over time, which I'm going with the next strategy: buy dividend stocks that increase their dividends over time. I know, the covered call ETFs, they're kind of like, if you look at qyld, it's, let's just say, worst case scenario, 13 cents. When it distributes a dividend of 13 cents at the worst, let's just say at best, maybe 24 cents. But if you have a dividend stock like Altria, who has consistently increased its dividend, you're basically giving yourself a raise. Same with Realty Income. And Valerian, I did make a comment that I'm very, I'm still looking at, Jeppy, I mean, I own that one. I absolutely love Jeppy as a dividend stock, is a ETF. I did lower the percentage a little bit because I want to be a little bit more aggressive with the qyld, ryd, and xyld. But on my previous video, I did, show you guys that I have Jeppy on my M1 Finance fractional share dividend portfolio, because I have a goal to make $1,000 to $3,000 a month on monthly dividends, and then $2,000 to $4,000 a month in my quarterly dividends. Now, that's just a temporary goal. I mean, that's one that's a rational goal. And Jeppy is definitely going to distribute dividends to help me, buy stocks like Altria, buy stocks like Pfizer, buy stocks like Iron Mountain. And then once they start getting bigger and they start distributing their dividends, then all of a sudden I can buy more Jeppy. So things are going to start kicking in, and it already is. And I'm right around $23,000 in my dividend portfolio in there. E-Trade, I'm right at a $30,000 dividend portfolio. And since I'm 36 years old, I'm still going to be a little bit more aggressive and really hit the real estate sector because it's still down. I mean, the pandemic really did a number on real estate investment trusts. Well, thank you. Not as amazing as Matt Money. So, Matt Money, I'm not on his level, just to let you know. That you would expand and learn more. Gosh, that's a tough one. Probably, I need to look more into the energy one. I know there's really good ones out there. I just need, I'm glad I didn't jump into PPL, which is, energy / utility. I think you would consider that as a utility, but that's one that I really need to get a little bit stronger on. And, Matt is big with the oil stocks. I do have a covered call ETF or ETN, USOI, which I've been discussing. It does covered call, like options with that. Do I invest into certain ETFs? Well, I'm a little bit more aggressive right now. I mean, I used to have SPHD, and I'm like, no, that's, not very attractive. I looked at its dividend history and the expense ratio, and I just wasn't about it. Thank you for that like, by the way. But, I like the covered call ETFs right now because they're a high yield dividend stock or ETF, and they distribute a really good dividend yield. One of the ETFs for, SPHD, it'll slowly increase its dividend over time, but a lot of my dividend stocks I have, like First Energy and those, I'd rather have something in like those, the portfolio versus the individual dividend stock. I did have it. I like it. It's just not my cup of tea. Now, Jeppy, the one thing in the long run about Jeppy is, Jeppy, I can't confirm if it's going to increase its dividend over time. SPHD will slowly do it. I know they call themselves a high dividend, low volatility ETF, but they're not really a low volatility ETF. And, I'm kind of disappointed in that ETF, but there is a covered call ETF, a growth one that Matt owns. I think it's XYLG. That one is very interesting. Matt, is that the right one? XYLG, maybe? But I'm not sure if he's still on here or not. Thank you for that like, by the way, who just hit that. But, that's an interesting one with the ETF. It's some of these ETFs, you got to be careful. You got to watch the expense ratio. And if you look at ETFs, one ETF in particular, Vanguard VYM, I'm going to type that. That is a very good ETF. TQQQ, oh boy, everybody loves that one. Matt, I think we were in that group chat, and you did mention that one as well. That was a really good one. Now, ETF-wise, with real estate investment trust, VNQ is a really good one. A lot of the stocks that I own, and some of them that I sold for a huge profit, like IIPR, that is a Mary Jane. That is, oops, a typo. That is the only Mary Jane stock I would actually look into. That is a real estate investment trust that owns the Mary Jane farms, and it has a really nice dividend. I bought it when it took a huge nosedive. It was up 400%. On my dividend portfolio, I couldn't keep up with it, and I had to sell it. It was very painful to sell, but it really screwed up the whole dividend portfolio with my M1 Finance. VZ versus T. So Verizon, I'll tell you something about Verizon. I did previous videos on Seagate. Do I think in September? Again, none of this is financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes. But I can tell you, I like Verizon over AT&T. I own both. I'm going to still own both. I have a communication sector stock section in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. If you look at my previous video that I just posted, I have a replica of the Death Star if you want to look at it. And I think if you sign up, we both get $50. So, I'm not going to say no to $50, and you wouldn't say no to $50 if you want to get a kickstart with a dividend portfolio. But speaking of September, I think there's going to be a little bit of a panic button. Now, again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not trying to be like Nostradamus or anything like that. But the thing with the market is, now, I'm going to tell you, this Delta variant is a beast. It is an absolute beast. My hospital's very busy right now, and we are a small local community hospital in my state. In Ohio, my county is actually the best vaccinated, and there are people that are really tore up from it. I mean, healthy people actually that are tore up from this Delta, and or just people in the community. And I'm hearing from nurses, or people that I know around the country, that this thing is a beast, and I think it's going to cause a little bit of a panic button. People might be panic selling. I really am telling you guys, being honest with you, I know it's a choice. I'm not going to look at you different if you say you're not going to take the vaccine, but I would much rather be sick for 24 hours with the vaccine shot than 3, 4, 7 days. My best friend's father was sick for 12 days. He was not vaccinated. He got a secondary infection, bacterial, and luckily he's doing okay with Levaquin. But, you got to be, I'm telling you, I think there's going to be some problems with that in the market. Now, what I like about Verizon is it's a little bit more expensive, but my gosh, the dividend increases. Now, I'm telling you, when I like investing in dividend stocks, these stocks need to slowly increase. I mean, I like when they increase. Realty Income, increase. Agree Realty Corporation, strong compounded annual growth rate. Verizon, dividend increases. These guys aren't going anywhere. Now, AT&T with their, with this little upjohn and what they're doing, there might be potential in the long run for 2 years. I'm going to buy it. I mean, I'm going to buy more shares. I own, I had a lot of shares in them. I sold them, rebought them. I'm still going to hold on to them. I still think they play an important part. They've been, a pretty consistent company. And I'm going to continue to buy more shares of them. Its dividend will probably drop to, or potentially drop to 3%, but still it's within my 3 to 5% range. I've been praising this real estate investment trust. It's EPR Properties. This is one that was hit hard by the pandemic, and it just resumed its dividend, and it's slowly. I'm anticipating, again, not financial advice, but I'm anticipating them slowly to increase their dividend because the confidence in, the entertainment industry and opening things up is back there. Now, I don't think the United States will be crazy like Australia and shut everything down. I do not believe that there's going to be another shutdown. I am not an epidemiologist, but I just see things, with the vaccine and stuff. I think it's going to be interesting. Which one is a very good stock, Valerian? Are you talking about EPR Properties, or are you talking about Verizon? So I can tell you, EPR is right at $50, and it's distributing 25 cents a share, and that one's just going to go back up. So the dip is there. It was sitting at $70 before it hit a huge nosedive, and I bought the dip, and I'm almost at, I think, 50 shares, but I'm getting a nice monthly dividend from those guys, and hopefully they'll start buying more shares and making life easier for me, and hopefully they'll increase their dividends. I got another one for you guys. I know I've been discussing that one numerous times. MPW Properties. That is a real estate investment trust that is with medical properties. And, they're well diversified within medical properties. And one of the big things that they invested in is mental health facilities. And unfortunately, mental health is terrible right now. It's, mental health is, like 1 out of 6 patients I take care of, 1 out of 4 or 5, whatever, depending on the census, somebody has a mental health issue, and mental health is terrible right now, and it's off the chain. By the way, thank you for that like real quick. Somebody that just gave me that, and feel free to hit me a like, since you're watching this, I don't mind that. I'll actually praise you. So thank you. And, MPW is a medical real estate investment trust. I'm actually going to type a few of them. MPWNHI. So go ahead and write these ones down. These are very good real estate investment trusts. I own all 4 of these, and I am long. I would be crazy to sell that one or any of them. They're doing very strong. When do I plan to retire? Let me finish nurse practitioner school first. That's one thing. And next year, I actually do plan on travel nursing, so I can throw a lot more money in my dividend portfolio. And I need to network. And, that's one thing that I'm really focused on right now. I mean, it's starting to get a little bit more intense with this semester. I definitely want to set the tone strong and have a, strong GPA. I blew a A- by 1 point, and see, MPW. Yes, LTC is another one. I forgot to mention that one. I have that in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. LTC is way down, and it's right around $30. It's a monthly dividend stock. I think the distribution is 19 cents. And, they're a major landlord to a lot of skilled rehab facilities and assisted living. And unfortunately, there's a lot, people are getting sicker. Diabetes is on the rise, and a lot of people are getting amputations. It's sad to say, it really is, that people are getting sicker, and people need, these type of facilities, and they're busy. And, unfortunately, with people, like I said, with hypertension being higher, the other thing is strokes. There's an increase in strokes. People smoking. There's a strong correlation with smoking, strokes, hypertension, and strokes. So it's LTC. It's way down. It's one that you should look at. I'm going to try to buy more shares in it eventually once my M1 Finance dividend portfolio makes an adjustment, and I'm definitely going to start buying more. And that and Iron Mountain, which is, I'm excited to see that one grow. Ooh, yeah, that sun killed me today. I'm telling you, when you guys lay out in the sun for like 2 to 3 hours, that kills you, man. I am like so tired. You have no idea. qyld or Jeppy, I'm kind of like Michael Jordan, both. That's my response. I'm buying a lot more qyld because it's cheap, and it's kind of like a scatter bomb. Like at worst, like I was saying before, 13 cents to about 21, 22 cents a share. So again, I'm going to treat qyld, ryld, and xyld as a retirement pension. And, as a registered nurse, we don't really have, retirement pensions. We have a 403B or 401k, but, I'm going to treat that as a retirement pension. And a lot of these dividend stocks I'm treating as a retirement pension. I don't have an anticipated retirement date or, age. I really haven't even thought about that. I mean, I'm getting to the age where, I'm starting to be at the peak of my career. It's only going to get, better. Can I tell you about ABBVE? Yes, that's one stock I need to add my dividend portfolio. That's ABBVE has incredible products that consumers need. ABBVE also, I think, they have some really good products. I don't want to go in depth about ABBVE, but very good pharmaceutical stock. They have increase their dividend over time. It's right around a 3 to 5 range percent dividend portfolio. And that's a very strong one. That one I need to add. I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at Abbvie, IBM. Once I start racking up more monthly dividends, I'm going to start buying Abbvie, 3M, IBM. Those are 3 stocks that I really want to target and have a certain percentage at, because I absolutely love the dividend distribution of Abbvie, Johnson & Johnson. Those are very good ones. I mean, the consumers need those type of products. Anytime, I had someone tell me that Abbvie was a bad dividend stock. I was in a Discord chat, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. By the way, Discord, I'm very good buddies with Conduit, and him and I discussed a few things, and we have now a live Discord chat. If you sign up on there, the Billion Club, he has a section called Dividend Investing. We can all hang out on there and chat on Discord. And when did I start investing? Let's see, I'm 36 years old. I started investing at 33. And I'll tell you my story. I started my YouTube channel as mostly on nursing. I was GB Nurse, and it was like 2018, and I'm just like, all right, I don't know if a 403B is enough for retirement. So I started looking into ways to make extra money, and I found people like Ian, who did YouTube channels. And I'm like, okay, people can passive invest. And then I started looking into this real estate crowdfunding, and I found Fundrise, and I'm like, wow, how cool would that be to invest in real estate? I don't have a lot of money, but I can, I don't have like $40,000 in my bank account. Why not just throw 10,000? Because I had all this money saved in my savings account. I didn't know what the heck to do with it. So I threw 10K in Fundrise, and I got really good returns. And I'm planning on, throwing X amount of dollars into Fundrise a month now, since they changed their policy. So you don't have to just throw $100 or more in. I'll probably throw, 30 or 40 a month. And because I'm getting really good appreciation. And I kind of taught myself, and then I started to network with people and listen to people who are way smarter than me. I mean, that's kind of the goal. I mean, I go by the philosophy of, if you're the smartest person in the room, that's a problem. And, that's starting to get to the point where I'm working at too. I'm with all these new grad nurses, and I'm like, all my friends are leaving, and, it's time I probably need to look around and start moving on. And, it's just not the same on my unit that I work at. And, I'm one of the oldest people, being 36. And, if you really want it, King Art Music, the best way to say it is, if you really want to learn, you're going to put the effort and you're going to put the time in to learn how to invest. I mean, YouTube's a very good source. Some people sell stuff. I am partners with a lot of people on Twitter that I've met, and I promote their Gumroad products. I actually can get you guys discounts on it. One of my buddies has a covered call option. I have it in usually my comment section, where you can sell your covered calls and throw it into your dividend portfolio. It's called turbocharge your dividend portfolio, and it's a really interesting strategy. And that's one I may implement in the future. And another one is that I have on my comment section is Too Much Money. Dividend Cultivator has a really good one, as well as Budget Dog, who pretty much has tips on how to find a really good 401k, because a lot of people get suckered into these high-end, stuff, and he's a CPA. So, look in my comment section after I post videos. I mean, these things, I'm not doing this to, promote these guys or anything like that, or get them money. I'm doing this to try to help you guys. Who is my preferred broker? See, I use E-Trade and I use M1 Finance. I have a traditional IRA, which I switched over from my Acorns account to Fidelity. My recommendation to you guys is stay away from Acorns. There's a lot of hidden fees in it with your IRA or traditional or Roth. You actually have to pay money and stuff, and then they get more money out of you. So watch out for that. So I threw all that money in Acorns into Fidelity, and I actually put money into this stock, Prudential, which is a very high yield dividend stock. And that's one to look at if you guys are like a little bit of an aggressive dividend stock. That's a very good one, is Prudential. Somebody just messaged me. Just trying to get my followers on here. I'm going to try to get Ian on here. Just trying to get this. Prudential live starts. I can't say nothing bad about it. Okay, so Valerian, I'm going to tell you something. Do you have a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA? Because honestly, you can make an M1 Finance dividend portfolio and make an exact replica of Acorns and not pay those like nitty-gritty fees in the long run. Well, let's see if I can get Ian on here. I just messaged him. He is one of the people that really got me going on YouTube and created one. So that I got to give that guy a bunch of kudos. Yeah, when you look at index funds, I would go on the individual one. So say like if you want Vanguard funds, go on Vanguard. If you like, their Vanguard Admiral shares, that's a really good one for a Roth IRA. That one I highly recommend. Again, this is not financial advice, but that one, Vanguard Admiral shares, is the real deal. That is the mothership of that is, I mean, I have the Death Star. That is the real deal. Fidelity is good. What dividend stocks do you? Well, again, none of this is financial advice, but I like the 3 to 5% range for my dividend portfolio, and some of mine that monthly dividends that I would say are top dividend stocks to buy. I'm typing this in right now. Let's do the rates. APR stag. Type in a few of them. Yeah, the CEFs, close-ended funds. I don't know about that yet. I'm not too hot on those. I mean, I want to. It's not really my thing. So here's some good monthly dividends. Yeah, it's a solid CEF. Don't get me wrong. I mean, USA is a good one. Close-ended fund. I'm not really looking into close-ended funds right now. I'm not. I'm going to go over this with ADNC and Prospect Capital real quick. Prospect, now, if you got the dip on AGNC when it took a huge nosedive, or prospect, kudos to you, and you're holding on to it, reinvesting in dividends. But these got AGNC and Prospect Capital, PSEC, those guys have decreased their dividend over time. So, and their price per share. So be aware of that. Monthly dividend, I'm going to do BDCs, business development companies. Those are, let's see. Yeah, I mean, hopefully AGNC improves because there's a lot of people that lost a ton of money in AGNC. Financially, if you look at their financial statements, it's not very strong. Monthly dividend BDCs, main, and I'm going to go over business development companies. Remember, with real estate investment trusts and business development companies, 90% of what they make, their income, goes back to us. So ORCC or, all right, you know what? Did you ask me about that? Because I found like a stock that was actually attractive, but it wasn't that. Let me just look that up again. Yeah, the Orchard. So I typed in ORCC by accident, and I was actually really attracted to ORCC. So look at ORC. So I'm looking at, just go on Google real quick since I'm talking to you. So look at the stock. Okay, look at this is what I do when I look at stocks, especially business development companies. Okay, or MREITs especially. So go on your phone, just type in ORC stock. Okay, so you're there, and then you go compare. So, okay, compare to another stock. I like to compare them against the S&P. So it has not done well against the S&P. Well, I mean, it's a business development company. They usually don't. But look at its decrease in price over time in the past 5 years. It's terrible. And look at its decrease in, whoa, okay, hold on a second. Now it depends when you got ORC, because ORC, if you look at its dividend history, over time, it has decreased. So at one point, okay, in 2019 it was 8 cents. 2020, okay, it took a little bit, but if you look at 2017, it was 14 cents. This is a dividend distribution, okay? Monthly dividend distribution, 14 cents. 2018, it was 11 cents. 2018, it was 9 cents. And then 2018, it was 8 cents. 2020, you can blame, okay, the pandemic, but it's decreasing over time, has a very high PE ratio and a 15.23% dividend yield. You got to be careful with it being a yield trap. But I looked up this ORCC by accident, and I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. So exactly. And if you look at Arbor Realty Trust, which is a MREIT, ABR, I should have a coffee cup that says that. That would really get people riled up. You know, people are religiously like agency, like it's a cult. I avoid it, right? You know, hopefully it improves. I mean, if it improves, absolutely, I'll buy it. And that's the thing with, you know, ORC. Look at that decrease. And he's absolutely right. Can I give it kudos? Okay, one thing you got to be careful with is the expense ratio. And one of my Brookfield Real Assets Income Fund, which is RA, has a very high expense ratio. So, you know, that's one thing to keep an eye on. I did that because it yields 19 cents. You know, per distribution, and you just have to watch that expense ratio. Now, Brookfield Real Assets Income Fund, it's against my principles that I have with investing. So, just be aware that with these monthly dividend stocks that, the expense ratio is what gets you. And that's why with my buddy Budget Dog, with his 401k, he really discusses and shows you, make sure that you have a good 401k so that you're not suckered and you're not hustled by a lot of these, companies and stuff, and a lot of these funds. Let me load that one up if you guys are interested. Let me see. Load it up. I'm going to load it up real quick. All right. So here's what I was referring to. Everything you need to know about your 401k, my buddy's Gumroad thing, this teaches you the traps to watch out for funds with 401k, which include high expense ratios. So it's one thing if you're interested with enhancing your 401k, that's one of my buddy's books. And, I am affiliated with him. But that's one thing if you're interested with this 401k, that can really help you with with looking at your 401k. Let's see if Ian's going to send me a response. No, he did not get it. I'm going to try to get him on here. He is the first dividend avenger. Like he is the man. I'm going to try to get him on here. I'm still trying, but keep on going. Let's see. Trying to get people on. All right, I'm just trying to message people to see if they want to hop on. Well, Robinhood, I don't know about those guys. I mean, Robinhood's not the best. Okay, now we're talking. Let me BST. All right, now you got my attention. So BlackRock Science and Technology Trust. Ooh. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. No, this is why, honestly, this is why I have, this channel and these group chats, because I never even heard of this one. And already I have interest in this CEF. Kudos to you, Andrew Ryan. That is a very attractive CEF. One, it has increased its price per share. This is almost like a, I'm very interested in this one. 2018, it has increased its dividend. It went from 13 cents to 15 cents, 16 cents. This is 2020, 18, and it's at 22 cents. That is very attractive. That's something that I'm looking. Wow. Wow. That's I mean, I'm like, I just stopped. I keep on looking at this like, wow. So BST. Yeah, this looks pretty, very attractive. Wow. I think you're on to something right there. Make a comment and this, or do you follow me on Twitter? Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. That way, you guys, Darth Dividend 23, so that you can message me and I can do videos on a lot of these stocks. Write that down, BST and BME. So somebody just mentioned communication sector stocks. So yes, I have some real quick. Oh yeah, I just realized that we message each other on Instagram. I'm just like, wait a second. I'm like, is that? Yeah, but make sure you follow me on Twitter too. So communication stocks. Let's see, BCE and TU. Those are very good communication stocks. They've increased their dividends over time. Gosh, I was sorry about that. I was like, Andrew Ryan. I'm like, wait a second, because I get like so many people messaging me. BCE and TU, those are really strong communication sector stocks. Now, LUMN, these guys have not increased their dividend over time, but they're a high yield dividend stock. Lumen Technologies, CenturyLink, that's another one that's very popular. Let me try to get some people. Just trying to. There's a lot of people messaging me, and I'm like, get up. Try to put this real quick. LYB. I'll have to look at that in a second, but that seems like a really good one. And, you know, these are pretty attractive right now. Just going back and forth. Man, we got 15 people. It's 10 o'clock at night. That's pretty good. Hun, I looked at that one a little bit. Let me look at that real quick. Well, International. Well, it's a very good growth stock. I mean, it's a very good growth stock. It has a 1% dividend yield. Way too expensive for me, but that's a blast. It's a very good one. Is that CCI is in Carnival or LYB? Geez, you guys are going. London Bell Industries. That's interesting. LYB dividend. Let me see their dividend history. Looks pretty attractive to me. LYB looks pretty good. Crown Castle International Corp. I've seen that one. That is another one. Looks pretty to me. That looks pretty attractive to me. It's pretty expensive, but I'm going to write some of these down. So yeah, all of them that you mentioned appear very good right now. I agree. Good cost. UTG, I'll look at that one. Write that one down. Yeah, so that's very attractive. And yeah, Andrew, I'm going to check my Instagram. Let's see if you message it to me. Because I did that one that you had me look at. I posted a video on that. But yeah, make sure you guys message me either on Instagram. My Instagram and follow me is Darth Dividend. Pretty sure that's my name. So you can follow me on there as well. And of course, Twitter. Well, who says no to Apple? I mean, that's a beauty stock. That is, that's a good dividend growth stock. It just increases its dividend over time. It splits so many times. I mean, how can you say no to that one? Try to get this. Just trying to get more people on here. Hey, thank you for the message, Andrew. And Supergirl Investor, thank you for the shout out on Twitter. Yeah, I did. That's a good one. I think a lot of the people in this channel do appreciate the information you have, Andrew. By the way, if you guys scroll up earlier in the chat, I do have a Instagram. I'm sorry, not an Instagram, but a Discord for you guys to all chat on. We can all hang out on there. This is for you guys. This is from the Conduit. He allowed me to go on there. So go ahead and register on here in Discord. He does a lot of stuff with crypto. He's one of the main people that got me into crypto. And a few females actually got my interest into crypto as well. One person I personally know got me interested in crypto. And yeah. SoFi is a great stock. I don't think it distributes a dividend, but have you seen SoFi TGIF? I mean, it's a the dividend distribution is not very strong, but that is TGIF is a weekly dividend stock. So that's one by SoFi. SoFi is a great, awesome. What is the price of SoFi right now? I mean, I see that potentially just getting big. I mean, it's something new. The app is attractive. ORI is a great dividend stock with a special dividend coming in. I know I did a video with those guys. Yeah, I agree. The weekly ETFs are no good. It's just a I mean, you can really just have a bunch of monthly dividend stocks, and then they distribute at a different time, and you can do better than TGIF for sure. That's a really good one. Yeah, Andrew, thank you for that information about the BlackRock CEFs. That is a very interesting strategy. Okay, so crypto, one thing there's only a few things I own in crypto. I know this is off topic. I really want to get interested in the staking. And, that's one thing I'm looking at, putting money in PancakeSwap, which is pretty much like a monthly dividend, or I'm sorry, not a monthly dividend, but like a dividend investing strategy with staking. I own Cardano. I own a little bit of Bitcoin. I have a very small percentage of my portfolio in crypto. I'm probably going to only do about 5 to 10% at the most. I like real estate. I do stuff with Fundrise. I do, I did used to, if you guys were, originals on my channel, I used to invest in rich uncles. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, I had 6,000 in that, and it was a monthly, a private REIT. And if the net asset value would have went up, I would have been making probably about $250 a month on passive income, just on monthly dividends. But they took a huge nosedive, and I think they did a kind of like a fire sale, and I'll probably get about 2,000 out of it, and I'll put it back in MoDiff and just reinvest those dividends with those guys, which is like kind of like the new rich uncles, because they are out there, and you know, the real estate sector, I think, is strong, and that's why I invest in Fundrise. Algoland, I mean, I'll look into those, you know, in the future as well. But it's just, it's interesting. It really is interesting with the crypto. Now, what if they had a covered call ETF that was crypto? That would be amazing. I mean, imagine that. I would totally be all about that one with a covered call ETF that's crypto. That would be really interesting. I mean, gosh, it would be so volatile. I mean, it would go up and down. Yeah, kind of reminds me of MJ stock. I mean, a lot of people like MJ for the ETF, but it's just so volatile. That's why I just stick with the IIPR, which is a very strong, again, marijuana real estate investment trust. And again, I know there's 17 of you guys on here. Feel free to speak up. You know, I'll definitely try to respond to a lot of you guys on here. Yeah, crypto, I mean, it goes so up and down. I mean, it's 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 interesting. I mean, it's I just, you know, again, I have like Compound, Cardano, Ethereum. You know, you just got to be careful with it. And I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I'm glad I didn't, because if I would have had all my money in rich uncles, I'd be screwed. DEA. DEA. I can look at it real quick. I'm looking at it right now. See a 4.97% dividend yield. Slowly increased its dividend. It's at 21.20. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's not going to jump up. Yeah. I just realized that, Andrew, it hasn't jumped up a lot, you know, in price per share, but it is slowly increasing its dividend, and it's right around, you know, a 4% dividend yield. That looks like an attractive rate. Aflac, I did have it. I sold it. Absolutely amazing dividend stock. I just wanted to be more aggressive with my dividend portfolio. I can't say anything wrong about Aflac. Amazing, amazing dividend stock. I have nothing bad to say on Aflac or even Newell Brands. I sold Newell Brands and threw it into Franklin Resources. I just wanted to be a little bit more, BEN is Franklin Resources. I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. I absolutely love Newell Brands. I just wanted to be more aggressive. And, you know, with Matthew Ramey, when he came on here, I'll try to see if he'll hop on here. I'll send him a text right now, actually, on my cell phone. All right, I sent him one. Well, QQQ, I haven't seen many people have them in the dividend portfolio. I know it was rare. I heard it from some people, but QQQ, again, I would just have that in a traditional Roth IRA, definitely fractional share dividend portfolio. Put money in, put money in, put money in, and just let it grow over time. Just like I was saying with, you know, having a Roth IRA, if you create a fractional share dividend portfolio on M1 Finance, you know, you can have QQQ and then have qyld. Some of those guys just throwing in a ton of money so that they'll start going into QQQ, and QQQ will just keep on going up. And then your net asset value would go up. So anytime you're in a Roth, a traditional IRA, or a mutual fund, your goal is to increase your net asset value so that, when you take money out in the long run, you get a nice, especially with the Roth IRA, you have to pay, say, like if you make $50,000, you have to report that as income versus if you made, yeah, I've seen those ones, found KBWD. Those are very good ones that I've seen before. Very interesting as well. Yeah, those are very good ones. So it's, I have to say, with the QQQ and VOO and stuff, people that have that stuff in their traditional and Roth IRAs, they're going to increase their net asset value. That's something that's very important. And it distributes a dividend. It's not a high dividend though. And people are texting me right now. Yes, I have a certain percentage on it. I actually just lowered a little bit of percentage in Pfizer. I'm right at almost 25 shares. Once I get to 25 or about 50 shares, my M1 Finance dividend portfolio and a lot of these dividend stocks, holy cow, am I going to be just really increasing my dividends? And Pfizer increases their dividends over time. And Mr. Simmons, like earlier when I was on here, I was discussing how Pfizer is a great dividend stock and its dividend distribution has been fantastic, and why I'm long in it. And I just like Pfizer. I like the company. I've seen their products work. They have very strong antibiotics that I hang on patients as well. Well, if you work at a pharmacy, are you a pharmacist? Let me just say, because you should know how many products that Pfizer, carries, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, a lot of their products that they carry. And unfortunately, like I was saying before, is that people are getting sicker and there's going to be demand for hypertensive medications. I mean, labetalol, I can't even tell you how many times I pushed that. So you're a pharmacy tech, but a lot of the Pfizer products, Norvasc, all that. Yeah, Synthroid is another thing. People that have hypothyroidism, they take Synthroid. And I can tell you a lot of patients I take care of that take Synthroid, they don't realize that you have to eat on an empty stomach, or wait about 35 to 45 minutes on an empty stomach to take Synthroid. So their TSH levels are like sky high when they're in the hospital. I'm like, dude, like, are you like, do you know what you're doing with that? Are you taking your Synthroid? Your TSH levels are off the chain, and then you're rounding with a physician that's like, they didn't know, that you have to eat about a half hour, 45 minutes before that. So very interesting. My mom is a retired nurse practitioner in endocrinology, and that's the thing with Synthroids. Gosh, I can't even tell you how many times they get TSH checks. I actually, being 36, I haven't seen a doctor in 2 years, and I do need to get a TSH checked. And I have a family history of like triglyceride levels, HDL and LDLs levels being bad. And guess what? Don't they distribute statins? Statins are a big one. Or is that VTRS now? I'm not sure if they do it or if it's VTRS now, but VTRS is another one. Really good dividend stock that's a pharmaceutical stock, and they do a good job with a lot of their products. What, Eli Lilly? Um, uh, What's their price right now? Well, Eli Lilly, aren't those guys the ones that if you get in a hospital now and you're infected with COVID-19, they're the ones that have the artificial antibodies that you get? That's a pretty popular. That's something that's pretty strong. Dividend tracker. I have a cheap one that I use. It's dividend calculator. Are you talking about like just calculating my dividend increases, or are you just like talking about how I'm doing on track and everything? Because this thing right here, this is cheap. I have my on my E-Trade dividend portfolio. I usually update it quarterly, but that's this thing usually updates all the time. It already like told me about Wendy's and everything. Oh, I'm not even close. Andrew, I need to next year, once I take a travel position and travel locally, I'm going to start throwing a lot more in my dividend portfolio, and I'll be 100% debt free with the nurse practitioner school. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing right now. I haven't even thought about it. I haven't even considered having a retirement goal yet. That's not even in the picture yet. I mean, hopefully, 55 or so, or, YouTube, I'm actually doing very well on YouTube. I'm going to pump, since, once graduate school starts getting more intense, starting next week. I know it's already starting to kick up a notch. This is my first week. And, yeah, the thing is, like, I'm putting money in, and actually YouTube is, thank you guys so much for being amazing subscribers. YouTube, the revenue I'm making from YouTube, I'm actually paying a lot of my graduate school for it, and things are looking pretty good. Before I hit 40, no, let's not go there yet. 36. Let me, I have a ways to go. I can't. I you know, I didn't, the thing is, like, I'm single, no kids, no obligations. I mean, I'm doing pretty well with YouTube. Affiliate marketing, I'm not doing too bad. But, you know, I just need to keep on going. And, once things change, if I eventually settle down and find someone, the income from YouTube will probably be funding my dividend portfolio and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of factors still. I mean, if I eventually find someone, and it just, I'm in no hurry. I really am. I have a task, I have a goal, and I have something I need to focus. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with side hustles. Where's she a nurse at, by the way? She can tell you about COVID. That's pretty cool. Both of you were dividend. Oh, nice. See, I mean, that's one of the reasons I have this channel as well. Is I tell nurses, like, hey, you can use this as a retirement, in the long run, and treat it as okay. I'm like I said, I'm in Northeast Ohio. I work at University Hospitals Systems, UH. They're the official sponsor of the Browns. But yeah, they, UH actually has a decent retirement pension. I was going to say 450, man. My, she ever considered travel nursing? Do you know how much you can make as a travel nurse? I can make more as a travel nurse versus a nurse practitioner. And it's one thing I'm actually considering doing. I'm going to do it next year. I don't care. I'm pretty motivated. I'm excited. I want to do it. I mean, you can make a lot of money a week. Yeah, you can make that amount a week if you find the right contract. I'm probably going to do mine within Northeast Ohio, and I may consider the Carolinas. I'm not completely sold on living in Northeast Ohio. I'm either going to move to Columbus or elsewhere. The one thing is the snow, and the other is, it's. I feel like it's just time to expand and look around. Start a new adventure, and my mom is a very successful nurse practitioner, and she did lectures at Kent State University on the side. So I have some big shoes to fill, and I kind of want to start my own journey as a nurse practitioner. And I don't want the name. I'd rather start my own legacy. That's why I'm at University of Cincinnati versus Kent State University. I could have got it in 5 minutes, but I don't want to use my mom's name or my mom to do my own journey in my own chapter. I did a post-bachelor accelerated nursing program at Cuyahoga Community College. You want to talk about a return investment? So I was a exercise physiologist. I wasn't very happy. I was only making $12 an hour with a 4-year degree. I paid $4,000 and I became a registered nurse. $4,000 in cash and I became an RN. You want to talk about a return investment? I wouldn't be here today if I, didn't make that jump. Not even kidding. I mean, sometimes it's about being, getting out of your comfort zone and going. So, and one of the big things is I never thought I would do a YouTube channel. And, that's having a YouTube channel. I never thought I would do this. I never thought I would be here, sitting here, and doing YouTube channels. I mean, it's become a passion. It really has. I mean, if I could, now I'm like sitting like, gosh, I should have went into finance or something, or I should have. What I really should have been is a lawyer. I can be an agent with all these college athletes now, especially in the Florida area. Those Florida State kids and, Florida kids, I'd actually smack them around, keep them straight. Well, who cares? I mean, enjoy it. I mean, you're going to get hate mail. You want to hear something funny? I got hate mail from someone. Yeah. I mean, it's weird, man. You just got to have a pair. Somebody told me I revealed too much information and most not useful, something to do with finances and not my area of understanding. So I try to be straightforward, but when somebody says I have too much information and most not useful, something to do with finances and not my area of understanding, I try to keep it as basic as possible. I have a dividend stock analysis. I discuss why these dividend stocks are in demand and why I have this channel. I just don't understand how people can be, people are interesting. And you want to talk about hate mail? I go on Twitter and I just did a thing with, I did a symbol ABR. I did this, and oh my gosh, the hate mail I got was unbelievable. Well, Andrew, I mean, I think the thing is you're just dealing with, a population of people, and you're not going to always make someone happy. Well, and you know what? That's why I keep things usually on the DL. A lot of my friends don't even know I have a YouTube channel and I have a dividend investing channel. I kind of find that I try to keep it low key. Yeah, I mean, I try to keep it basic, Andrew. I mean, that's what I do with my channel, and yeah, I know it's the thing too is like why I keep my personal life. I mean, my family knows I have a YouTube channel, you know, like 2 or 3 people, one girl, you know, I used to date actually, just went on one date online. We've been in contact with each other. She finds she's on my Instagram channel, and you know, there's not that many people that really have been on contact on really you know, I just don't let people know about my channel, like friends and family. Um, you know, what the thing is, like, it's people like it, like Simmons, like you said, is people say they want to invest, but they don't. And I'm not going to waste my time and energy on people that don't care. And what's funny is actually at work, I told some people I dividend invest, and a physician came up to me and he goes, "You're a dividend investor?" I didn't reveal it to him on my YouTube. I go, "Yeah, I dividend invest." He goes, "Which ones, which type of stocks do you like?" I started telling him like this. It's like, man, and you want to talk about, you know, physicians that have money? Like one of them told me they threw 200 shares in what was it, BGS right away, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I like that one." Well, I mean, the thing is, this is why I keep it separate, Andrew. Exactly, and you know, I'm very transparent with what I own and what I buy, and you know, I don't hold anything back, and that's how it is. Oh, you want to talk about defensive? Uh, Simmons, is you listen to people on these FinTwit chats or these Twitter spaces, and oh gosh, when they argue with each other about stocks, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, "Yep, I'm a dividend investor. I put my money there and just leave it alone." Like I'm almost repetitive with people. Like when I'm in group chats with Matt Money and those guys, um, you know, it's these people, you know, they ask me, "Well, what do you want to do with dividends? What do you do this?" I said, "I keep it very basic, you know, and this is what I do." Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, that's kind of what I see if I can get more people on here. See if I can get GW on here. Do you guys know who GW is? I'll introduce you to him if he comes on here. Try to get him on here. I'll stay on here a little bit later too, if I can get more people on here. Dude, he is like the ETF guru. I got to get him on here. His channel is really good. Let's see who's on. Let's see if I can get more people on here. GW. Nope. All right, I'm texting him right now. All right, let's see if he takes a bait. He's one of my good buddies. See if he gets on. Yeah, that dude. I call him the ETF guru. No, you'll like this guy. He's pretty chill. He does covered calls, and yes, I'm sipping on scotch. I actually got this as a gift. It was the Regal. I turned 36 on the 20th, and I did a gift exchange with actually a Holy Cross brothers of the Holy Cross. He was my former freshman baseball coach, and he's actually a like considered a priest, and he's at Notre Dame affiliation. So he's like one of my mentors back in the day. So we always exchange Christmas gifts. So here's a late Christmas gift he gave me. Let's see, is he gonna follow? Oh, the group chats I have with him and Hidden Freedom Investing. That's a lot of fun with those guys. It really is. We'll be on Discord. Us three and Matt Money, I joke around and say when it comes to dividend investing, we're probably the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and they always laugh about that. Him and I would always. This is a covered call ETN SLVO, and don't. I'm surprised he never did that myself. I can message him right now, send him a screenshot that you guys demanded. He'll do it. I was gonna say he reviews he's an ETF guru. In the future, I'd love to do a collaboration video with him. I'm actually going to be doing one. I'm going to reveal it to you guys. One with Dapper Dividends. I need to figure out how to do this. I'll probably do it in December or so. But PPCEN wants to do a collaboration with me, and I'll post our collaboration video on his YouTube channel. Honestly, the kudos goes to this guy. Just to do a collaboration video with somebody like him is amazing. So he deserves all the credit for that one. And I will post the video that him and I have together. What a phenomenal person. I mean, when he retires, I'm definitely I'm going to start having like shirts and stuff and merchandise. I think more coffee cups, because you know how I am. I'm a coffee dude. And he is. I'm going to definitely give him a coffee cup. Yeah, he's very sharp. And another person. Well, my first collaboration I ever did with is actually someone I know in real life personally. One of the two is people in Dividend Diplomats is Lanny. So I did do a video on that. I'll actually post that real quick. Let's see if I can find it. I'll post you my first one. What's that? You're going to get them to 10K. Here's my first one that I did. Dude, I drink black coffee like my soul, which is black. Just kidding. But yeah, I drink black coffee. I used to be an exercise physiologist, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Black coffee, yes, I drink black coffee like the color of my soul, which is darkness. And my rule of thumb too is if you drink coffee, it better be strong enough so that you can smell it in your piss, which is true. Because if you drink strong coffee, you definitely will can smell it, just like asparagus. So that's another rule of thumb. It's kind of a little dark and healthcare talk, but well, green tea has a lot of phytochemicals in it too. It's not a lot of phyto. I'm surprised I didn't get dislikes with that comment. That was a pretty snarky comment. But green tea is a healthy one. I'm pretty sure that BGS a green tea. I think they got some of that stuff too. I'm very excited to have those guys as a dividend stock. and it's just very interesting. Let me try to forward one more thing to let people know I'm live. Just try to get more people on here. Yeah. You know what's funny, Andrew? Speaking of hate mail, so it's actually the light makes me look like I'm, pale as can be. So somebody sent me a comment like with hate mail, or I don't know if it was a comment or hate mail, but they said I look like I'm an addict. Thought it was pretty funny. So if I go back, you can tell I'm a little bit tan, but this light, the reflection of the light makes me look like I'm like super white and like I'm anemic or something. I thought that was pretty funny. That was quite entertaining. Trying to think. So what do you guys think of Starbucks stock? I think that's a little overvalued. Yeah, it pretty much does. But yeah, it's Starbucks. I think is a overvalued stock. I did buy it the dip and then sold it and stuff. It just costs way too much money. Way too much for me. And the dividend yield, yeah, it's a good dividend growth stock though. Yeah. I mean, I would go into something that's like high, like AbbVie or IBM, because I know I'm going to get a dividend out of it, a nice dividend. By the way, I went to Penn Station to grab a sub, and my gosh, I couldn't even tell you how many Hormel Foods logos I saw, RTX and Lockheed. That's another thing I really need to look into is some of those aerospace stocks. Raytheon is a good one. Wow, Lockheed's up there. I'm surprised it's not a surprised it's not up there. Speaking of dividend diplomats, let's see if I get more people hopping on. Abbvie's fine. Abbvie's a strong stock. So by the way, Raylan Records met her on Twitter. She has a pretty well diversified YouTube channel, so check it out. She's got about 7,000 followers. I did buy Boeing on the dip. Not gonna lie. Yeah, Boeing's dividend is right now. All right, here's a question. If Tesla started distributing a dividend, would you buy it? I think that would be a yes for me. Oh, AbbVie's fine. AbbVie, oh my gosh. It's a pharmaceutical juggernaut. It ain't going anywhere. I'll tell you guys something really funny. I myself, being a registered nurse, somebody asked me how my date went with one girl. I did online dating in 2017, a little bit of 2019. Now I'm not like dating anyone because I'm busy. And they go, so how'd your date go? I go, you know what? Honestly, I bought more Pfizer stock because this girl told me all the drugs she took on the first date. And you know what? They were all Pfizer stocks, and that increased my confidence in Pfizer. That was a little interesting. But AbbVie, yeah, when you tell me that you take SSRIs and all these medications in the first date, not a good idea. But AbbVie does carry a lot of products that are still, for the consumer and stuff. Still overvalued. Yeah, Tesla's overvalued. They never even made profit yet. It's weird but funny. Well, that was an interesting first date. And believe me, I got about 45 phone calls after that first date. It was a little interesting. Well, I mean, Walgreens is a I think they're going to be fine. I mean, people need to pick up. You don't think they'll do well in the long term? I just think, I mean, people need medications, they need stuff, and Walgreens, they're a pharmaceutical company, and well, not really a pharmaceutical company, but they're a I just think, they should be fine. I mean, they're going to make money. People go into the store to get prescriptions or over the counter stuff. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. So tell me about Amazon trying to get into it. Yeah, I looked at that stock, and this is something new to me, and I had no idea. Clonin, what's up? Well, can you argue that, the more competition, the better? So what happens if Amazon sells atorvastatin for $15 and then Walgreens says, well, guess what? We're going to do $14.50. Well, I mean, everybody's going to try to, make or downgrade to get the easiest buck. So, I mean, it's just competition when it comes towards that. I mean, I don't know. Of course, they're going to adapt. I mean, they're a juggernaut, but still, people need to pick up prescriptions and stuff. And is Amazon going to be 24/7? Because some Walgreens are 24/7. So if you call it over the phone, wouldn't there be a delivery charge? I mean, like the hospital I work at, their pharmacy is actually cheaper than, the local ones like Giant Eagle and the other ones. So, you get a deal and they actually have the pharmacy tech come up to you on the nursing floor and give you your medications, which I think is great. And like products like, Brilinta and stuff, but, yeah, but not everybody is on Amazon Prime. I mean, it's just, it's convenient. What happens when you get discharged from the hospital? Here's the thing with pharmacies. So I admit a patient to the floor, okay? And the first thing I ask them, part of the admission history is what pharmacy do you go to? And all of a sudden, they say Walgreens, and let's just say a road. I don't care. I'll tell you where I'm very close to living at, East Lake Road. Okay. And right away, when you admit a patient to the hospital, you put them in the system. Okay. Because this is part of, I don't want to get into politics, but this is part of the, mandate with the Obamacare. And, which some things, there's good things and there's some really bad things, but I won't get into that. But the first thing is with e-prescribing, you immediately, put them in the system, because the goal is when you get somebody in the hospital, so like they come in with COPD exacerbation, chest pain, that ends up being GERD or reflux. You find out what pharmacy they go to, and then when they get discharged, their medications are e-prescribed to their local pharmacy. So if I admit a patient and they say that I'm at Walgreens in this road, the moment I discharge them, their pharmacy calls them over the cell phone before they're getting discharged, and they say, "Hey, we got your meds." So literally, when they sign the papers for discharge, they immediately go to their pharmacy and pick that up. Now, if you have this thing with this delivery thing, it's not going to be as fast as I just discharged you from the hospital. You can pick up Brilinta, since you just had a stent put in, and you can pick up Brilinta at Walgreens in 10 minutes, the moment I discharge you. So I still think these pharmacies, or these, companies still have a shot, and I still think they'll be fine. That's one example I can give you. That's what we do. I mean, in the hospital, I'm just telling you from a situation, being a registered nurse, I admit someone, and believe me, physicians now, they make physicians e-prescribe to their local pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. Rite Aid's a mess. That's one. That's one I don't think we'll be distributing a dividend for a while. I did buy the dip, before I really knew what I was doing, and then I sold it for a profit. But that's what you do. That's what we do in healthcare. We find out what pharmacy they're from when they're admitted to the hospital. Then we e-prescribe to their pharmacy. That's what they do with the Epic. That's what they do with all those programs. So I think those guys are fine, and they're still going to be strong. Did they officially buy them out? Because I know that Rite Aid said, that they turned it down. I haven't followed Walgreens as much before I made the call on buying them off, or I'm sorry, buying shares. But is it official? Because Rite Aid was, I thought Rite Aid turned it down. Okay, but I think in Ohio they haven't, but I could see that happening. I mean, Rite Aid is, gosh, nobody's ever in there. I'll go to Rite Aid to like get a Powerade or something if I'm hungover or something, because it's real close to my complex. But and I really don't see Rite Aid busy at all ever. I mean, honestly, I just never see them busy. I mean, well, it could be. I think, because they turned it down before. I think it's an ego thing, but it would be good if they got bought off. Mostly, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. They should get bought off. They can't keep up. So, I mean, that's kind of my honest opinion. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes. But this is what I'm seeing, in the hospital. I'm telling you from what I'm seeing in experience is, that's what I see. I mean, literally, you e-prescribe medications, people pick them up, boom, they're good. I mean, e-prescribing is huge. I'm actually gonna probably get like a little bit more, like two shots worth of scotch, and that's it. And I'm calling it a day. Gosh, do I have like long lectures tomorrow? I'll stay on until about 11:30. I'm okay. I took like a power nap before I did this video, or my Altria video. Well, the e-scripts is part of the the healthcare mandate and stuff that they made in 2010. And I do think it's safer because if physicians write scribble, my handwriting's terrible, and if they write stuff, you can't really read it sometimes. So that's part of the problem. So what about, I was going to ask you, what about real estate investment trust or bank stocks? What do you guys think of Huntington Bank shares or KeyBank? So Bank of America, that one slowly increases its dividend. That's a really good dividend growth stock, and it is a growth stock too. It's just right in there. It's like, you have value stocks, growth stocks, and then you have the ones that are in between merged together. Absolutely, that is a pretty strong one. See, I'm just trying to get messages. Speaking of Wells Fargo, those guys have pissed me off as a business. They pretty much flat out lied to me about a payment that I was good. And all of a sudden I owed like $200 from them, which was very shady. And Ian just sold Wells Fargo too. I don't like those guys. I think they're shady. I mean, I don't like First Energy as a company, but the dividend yield, First Energy, really strong utility company. I don't like them as a company because I think they're shady and stuff, and what they've done with like corruption with Larry Householder, a representative. But they're such a juggernaut as a utility company. I mean, I'm held at the will of First Energy. It is what it is. They're such a strong company. But the thing about Wells Fargo, they're just jerks. Terrible business practices. I mean, they're not trustworthy. I know First Energy had issues, but they're still making money. Like Wells Fargo, like pretty much just shafted people. I mean, they're not a nice company and stuff. So I actually have that pretty heavy into qyld, Jeppy, and Nusi for strategy. Again, like I was telling people with my EV, no, I'm into oil stocks. I have Exxon. I might buy Chevron. I'm in USOI, which is a covered call ETN, kind of a scatter bomb exchange traded note. Let's see, downsides risk. The risk of XYLD, QYLD, and RYLD, I mean, there's always a risk. You know, some people think it's not sustainable. I don't have time to do these covered call options. I mean, I'm taking care of patients. I can't sell stocks at the most precise time. So, you know, investing into those monthly dividend stocks, which will buy my quarterly dividend stocks in M1 Finance, that's kind of what I'm doing. I mean, there's a risk towards everything. I mean, the downside is with qyld, ryld, JEPI, NUSI, you're not going to get a consistent dividend increase. So if you put money in like a real estate investment trust like you're going to slowly get an increase, a consistent increase of the monthly dividend stock. Same with STAG, same with land. I mean, land's really slow. I mean, that's one reason why I'm considering selling it as a dividend stock, monthly dividend stock, because its growth rate sucks. But it slowly is increasing its dividend. So I may just hold on to it. But that's the one issue with JEPI and qyld and NUSI is its dividend will probably never increase a certain threshold. So like I was saying previously in my video, qyld will maybe at worst case scenario be 13 cents, a dividend distribution to about 24 cents. But I highly doubt it'll ever get to 30 cents, 26 cents, and just be consistent up there. It's kind of like a scatter bomb. So that's one thing with them. Same with JEPI and NUSI. It's just not going to consistently go up. So you have to be well diversified in a lot of your dividend stocks, like because Matt Money and I own a lot of shares. Not like Matt Money though, but you're going to get consistent increases. It's like you're getting a raise from your job and you're not even doing a damn thing. So that's one thing to really look into is these monthly dividend stocks that slowly increase their dividends, like STAG. Land slowly does, but not like too much. And so that's one thing they'll really look into. And that's one of the cons of those guys. They're not going to consistently increase their dividends. Well, I have AT&T. I'm going to be long in AT&T, and there's a lot of the unknown which is going to happen. And with AT&T, I know it has a 7% distribution yield. I don't know if it's sustainable in 2 years or so. It may go down to 3%, but there's opportunities. I mean, they're being innovative. They're doing an Upjohn spinoff, and I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what they'll do. So I'm just going to leave them alone, just buy more and see what happens. If I don't like what I see, I'll just sell it and throw it in Verizon. It is what it is. Yeah, they are in a lot of debt. How much is T-Mobile? T-Mobile doesn't have a dividend. I'm kind of surprised. All right, so here's the thing with it's so much bigger than SLG. SLG is just in Manhattan, and it does have a very big dividend distribution, but something may happen with SLG, and it's not as strong as Realty Income. I think SLG has like 40 or so buildings, as a landlord, and it is in New York. People want to live in New York. I'm going to tell you though, Simmons, that ADC is a force, and better be shaken in their boots, because the compounded annual growth rate and the dividend growth rate of ADC is actually way better than as I posted a video on that. So I just want to give you a heads up and a warning sign that ADC, when the board of directors made a call in 2021 that we're going to be a monthly dividend stock, that was a gutsy move. That was a strong statement they made. And, that is a very, very, the compounded annual growth rate. I just posted a video on that. I'll show you guys my video that I did so you guys can look at that. This one really got some attention. So these are all the stocks that I own. This link that I posted are 7 monthly dividend stocks to buy. I go over O, I go over ADC, I go over SLG, I show the dividend history, and at the end, I actually compare the compounded annual growth rate of ADC versus O. And your jaw is going to drop when you see that when the dividend growth rate in ADC versus O is really interesting. And that's just one to keep an eye on. I would love to actually interview one of those guys on the board of ADC. I think that's going to be my goal this winter, is that actually have a interview with those guys. I think that'd be really cool because, I mean, literally these guys are like, I'm going to give a reference to Lord of the Rings. They're like the orcs, like ready to like smash through Minas Tirith. I mean, literally, you can feel it. I mean, you can feel that they are going to surpass them in like their dividend distribution, their monthly dividend distribution, their portfolio similar, and they are. I don't care if O has 6,000 buildings they're a tenant to. Abbvie Realty Corporation is doing something right, and people are waking up and realizing that O might be in trouble. And I'm gonna be the first to tell you, I really think that they may call themselves a monthly dividend stock, but Abbvie Realty Corporation could be the monthly dividend rate, and it's a lot smaller and it's a lot well organized, and its dividend growth rate is actually better, and they're actually beating O in price per share. I find it very interesting. Well, the thoughts of free rent on September 1st. Well, we all take a risk with paying rent and stuff. And if you're a landlord, you got to pay money. You got to make money. And, it's, you take a risk with everywhere that you live and stuff. I'm 50-50 on it because people were really like torched from the pandemic, and the landlords need to make money as well. So that's a tough thing to say. I mean, I've seen people literally that have unemployment benefits. Out in my area, there's no Ubers or Lyfts right now. You are not going to get a ride at 1 or 2 in the morning anymore. It's just so weird because of these regulations and, the unemployment benefits. People are really pocketing it. And, it's kind of a shame for people to take advantage of it. But, I'll be honest with you. If I was making more money with unemployment benefits, I don't know if I would want to work. So that's kind of what people are doing. I mean, it's the easy way to make money. You're just not doing anything, but those are going to end. So it's going to be very interesting. I personally, I would not want to sit there and ride money from unemployment benefits. I feel like I'm a pretty driven person. I mean, As you can tell, I'm a very laser focused individual. I would not take free money from the government like that and just ride it. That's just not how I am. Spinoff from T will be interesting. Do you plan on keeping it until it splits? Yes. Yes, I will keep it until it splits. Disney's going to be a very strong company. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just responding real quick, but Disney is a semi-annual dividend stock. I know they froze their dividend, and the thing is with Disney is, look at just an example. Look at college football. Now, they made a ton of money off of ESPN with college football. And when you see Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12, going to the SEC because, this big contract with ESPN and the SEC, they're going to make a buttload of money. And ESPN pretty much runs the college football playoff. When they expand this college football playoff, do you know how much money they're going to make? That's just one example. Then you have Marvel. Then you have all these other things that Disney owns. Disney is going to be a powerhouse once they resume their dividend. It's a semi-annual dividend stock. I see those guys being very strong in the long run. Man, I got this sunscreen still on me. It's like itchy. I laid out earlier. Yeah, I'm about to call it, about a half hour too. Do you guys, anybody have any comments before I'm going to try to conclude it around 11:30, 11:45. I see there's 12 of you guys still on here. Does anybody want to say anything? Yeah, decent group of people on here. I'm very impressed with how many people are out here. So, any advice on real estate investing trust? I'm heavy into rates. You need to find rates that are in demand, like healthcare rates, like MPW, OHI. These are stocks that have increased their dividends over time. I encourage people to be very well diversified in real estate investment trust. Like, I own Stag Industrial. I own LTC, which is a medical real estate investment trust. I own Land, which is a farmland real estate investment trust. I own EPR, which is a entertainment, industry real estate investment trust. So you have to be well diversified in, your REITs, IIPR, which is a real estate investment trust that is focused on the Mary Jane farms. So it's just important to be well diversified and you just have to be well diversified. So I'm going to give it, let's see, there's 10 more, you guys. I'm going to, please speak up. I mean, I'm here to answer questions. I know some people are really asking questions and stuff. I'm here to answer all of them. I mean, I have this channel for a purpose. See. Sweet. Does that sound that bad? I'm like, I have my, geez, does that sound that bad? I didn't think it would sound that scratchy and stuff. I looked at a YouTube, video from here. Does that sound that bad? I'm like, I have my, geez, does that sound that bad? I didn't think it would sound that. No, here we go. Here we go. No, that was just that was a delay. Ooh. So what did you sell those for? I mean, all three of those are very good real estate investment trusts. I want to know why you sold them and what you put them in. My honest opinion is you should diversify. I mean, I have STORE, I have STAG, I have WPC Carry. I want to, they're pretty good real estate investment trust. Dividend growth stocks, STORE, STAG, those are pretty good ones. Here's by the way, here's one of the best. Everybody that has looked into things and too much money. The link that I posted, Dividend Cultivator, that was probably the highest voted one with the link that I posted on here. So check that one out. So the bills are important. You got to have a good balance. And my advice is never, sell stocks, make sure you have enough for, the physiologic, like Maslow's theory. Do you have enough money for food? Do you have enough money for this? You can't just all of a sudden throw money into your dividend stocks. And then, when you have to, meet your needs and stuff. So I'm just letting you know, make sure that, you're smart with that too. I mean, did you lose a job or something? You got to have some discipline when you do stuff and just leave them alone. Maybe if you bought the dip and then you sold it for a profit, I can understand, but you got to leave those alone. Let the dividends do the job for you, I am exclusively dividend stocks and dividend stocks only. Now, would I buy the dip and, a big stock and then sell it for a profit and throw it in my dividend stocks? Absolutely. I would do that. I'm thinking about doing that with Carnival. Yeah, I mean, but no, LF, you're not wrong. I have considered that. I just right now, being in graduate school, I have to be very conservative with my purchases. I need to make very strategic purchases and go from there. CWH. Yes, I have looked at them. Camping Worldwide Holdings, I have. That one's interesting. I'll look at it right now. You know, Camping CWH, it appears that it appears that they have increased their revenue over time. I'm going to look at them macro trends. Bro, you got yourself a winner. That is a good one. No, 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 excuse me. Look at how much revenue they're making. They are in demand. Who cares if the stock price is flat? That's what I like, you know. I don't want a stock like O to be $80 a share. I want it to be maybe 60 cents and just increase its dividend. You know, it's still going to make revenue. I mean, my gosh. Let me just read you the trends. So this is in annual data in millions of US dollars, 2014. This is again in millions of US dollars, 2006 34, 2015, 3,678, 3,516. That's in 2016, 2017, 4,279, 2018, 4,792, 2019, 4,892, 2020, 5,446. It is increasing its revenue. So they're doing something good. They're doing something right. Their revenue's increasing. So they're doing something right. When I see an increase in revenue, I feel very confident in stock. I know everybody has a different dividend investing philosophy, but if it's increasing its revenue, that they're doing something right. I mean, I'll look at more things. Okay, their expenses, it's a little bit, operating income is a little bit negative, but who cares? They're increasing the revenue. The expenses are a little bit down, but their revenue is going up. They're doing something right. Now, if the revenue was down and their expense, you know, they're still negative, some years are going to be negative. That's just how it is. But, you know, they're doing something right. So I'm just going to read something. Camping World Holdings revenue totaled roughly 1.56 billion in the first quarter in 2021. That represented a huge $530 million increase compared to the same period in 2020, which amounts to slightly more than a 50% year over year improvement. They're doing something right. They're doing something right. Now, again, this is not financial advice, but you know, I tell you guys, go to macro trends, see how these stocks are doing. That's why I was saying with ABR, which is a really good um, mortgage back rate, that it's going up. Its 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 revenue is going up. They're doing something right versus AGNC. So I believe that they're doing something right, and you know that's something that's I think it's, again, it's not financial advice. Let me look at their dividend history. It's going up. I mean, it seems decent. I mean, they seem like they're a pretty stable company. Um, I feel okay with it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and you know the deal. But it's not bad. I consider it a winner. And thank you, LF, for commenting on the channel. And again, yeah, I I agree. I mean, it's I really emphasize Arbor Realty Trust. I can't believe it's 11:40. I got enough gas in the tank till about midnight. I'm okay with that. If you guys bring more people on here, more of you guys are on here, I don't mind doing this. 80-90% of portfolio. I see. I would see what happens with CWH in the long run. Let it reinvest and see what happens. I mean, how many shares do you have in CWH? I just the special dividends very attractive, and they seem like they're doing something right. It's like Wendy's. I own Wendy's. I have like 40 shares in it. They have a very low dividend yield. It's like almost like 1-2%, but they're consistently increasing their dividend. Even post pandemic, they're increasing their dividend. So why not just hold on to them and see what happens, reinvest the dividends, and go from there? Who knows? Maybe they'll. I mean, they're who knows? They can blow up and have a stock split, and I get more dividends. And passive income. So they're a very strong fast food industry and stuff. Yeah, I mean, they seem strong. I mean, you see slow dividend increases. It's PE ratio isn't too bad. 2.5% dividend yield. It's not bad. If I can only invest in the 3 stocks for the rest of my life, what would they be? If I had the money, so I'll just give you a scenario. If I had $1 million, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I went on Nasdaq and just searched. So yield 5%. That's pretty strong. So if I had 3 stocks for the rest of my life, what would they be? So if somebody gave me $1 million and I can only invest in 3 dividend stocks, I'll just give you a scenario. Apple would be 1. Johnson Johnson would be 2, and probably Realty Income would be 3. Any other questions? I think we all are late in Apple. I mean, if I had a nice graduation gift for graduating in college, and somebody gave me $250, and if I could buy shares of Apple when it was cheap, holy cow, APTS. All right, I'll look them up. So far, we have a winner. Okay, so it's 20, it's going up and then it just stopped. Did a dip that happen? All right, APTS is a steal. Took a huge nosedive during the pandemic. It is a steal. I'm looking at it right now. It is, what is it? APTS. Its revenue has increased right now. 5% dividend yield. It is sitting at 12.18. APTS is a steal. 5.75% dividend yield. It's 12.18. I'm going to write that down. Actually, I'm thinking about buying that. Thank you for that tip. This is why I do this channel and why I do these live videos. We get tip offs. I hook you up with dividend stock analysis videos and stocks, and all of a sudden it's like somebody mentions something that's really good, and it's like, ooh. So APTS is increasing its revenue. One, it's increasing its revenue. Two, its dividend went down a little bit during the pandemic, and it's like right around $12. That is a steal, dude. That is a hell of a call right there. That is a steal. I started investing at 33 years old, and I'm 36. So, sure. I mean, there are, I wish, but I wouldn't change shit with my life and the way I experience life. So, I have no complaints. I never thought I would do a YouTube channel. And, here I am doing videos with you guys. Never thought that, this would be possible. I never thought I would invest in real estate. I did Fundrise. And, you get life experiences and you find it within. And that's what it's all about. It's really finding yourself and finding within who you are and what you stand for. And again, I'm 36 years old. I started investing when I hit 33, and that was like right before 2019 is when I created my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. And that's really, I still didn't know what the hell I was doing. Then I ran into really good investors like Gen X Dividend investor who slapped me around, like kind of gave me a reality check. I didn't pay him a dime. He offered me his wisdom. And I joke around and say I'm the apprentice, he's the master. And it's true. I mean, I learned so much from him, and I'm very grateful for the mentorship that he gave me. And it's really, we had chats in Discord, we had real talk, and that's someone that we should all go on his Discord one day. Ooh, it's hitting me now. I'll give it about 9 more minutes and I'm calling it a night. No, APTS. I like that. It's very. I wrote that down. I may do a future video on it. Wrote it down. That is hot. That looks very attractive. I mean, it's going to increase its dividend over time. It's I'm going to have to look a little bit more digging into them, but very attractive. Revenue has increased. They're doing something right. Jeez, I can't believe it's been almost 2.5 hours I was on here. Well worth it. You too. Okay, so Steve, it lost money, but real estate investment trusts have lost money in 2020. The thing is, they're increasing revenue. Sure, rates took a huge nosedive. I'm looking at macro trends and they're doing okay. The revenue is increasing over time. Their operating income did go down a little bit pandemic wise, but they still look pretty good. I mean, I don't know. It still looks good. They're in a lot of states too. I have to give these guys kudos. Do you like that one, Steve? I mean, I like it. I mean, I'm looking on their website. Energy Transfer is not a bad one. I mean, I did own them. I sold them and went from there. Energy Transfer, I think, is It's not a bad one. I know a lot of people that are long in them, and I don't have anything bad to say about them. I mean, I'm looking more into these guys. They look pretty good. That's one, I mean, you want to talk about risk. This one, I'm actually gonna consider to put X amount of dollars in it. I'm gonna take a risk on this one. This is a real estate investment trust, Presidio Property Trust. I know they took a huge nosedive. I do feel bad for these guys. They started to kind of get the ball rolling during pandemic wise, but there's a huge dip there and there's a strong opportunity there. December 2020, they're at $5 a share, took a huge nosedive, and then they were at 477. They're sitting at 398. I know that dividend yield's high at 10%, but $100 is not going to be a big risk for me throwing money in those guys. I'm going to see what happens. I'm probably going to do it in the next 2 or 3 weeks. This one's a risk. I'm not going to tell you guys to look at it. They are beat up from the pandemic. They are hugely beat up. They're discussing like a revenue increase over time, and it's a real estate investment trust. That one I'm going to be very careful with. But I'm going to conclude everything. If you guys are new to this YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I'm going to post my affiliate link. Now, I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm not telling you to buy Matthew Ramey's dividend investing strategy. But what you can do real quick is I'm going to show you what you can do to support my channel. I'm not telling you to buy anything, okay? But stuff that you normally buy, I'm going to go on my channel real quick. This is all I asked you to do, really, is see if I'm clicking. I don't like AGNC, period. All right, let me go to something. All right, so I'm going to post my affiliate link on Amazon. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm not telling you to buy my buddy's book at all. But if you could copy this link, put it on Microsoft Word, and every time you go to make an Amazon purchase, click that link, and then just go to Kindle Store and just search whatever you want to buy, like toilet paper or something, whatever you're interested in buying. Do that once you click this link. Just hit the search thing. I would appreciate it so much. That way it's not like you're giving me money in Patreon. You're actually just using my affiliate link to buy stuff that you normally buy. I would sell AGNC and throw in O. Or better advice, sell AGNC and throw it in ABR. Not financial advice. This is not financial purposes, but that's my advice to you. Throw it in ABR instead. That's one of the best mortgage back rates. So again, see that affiliate link I have with Amazon. Click that, okay? Click that. Just click that link and you can just search whatever you want to buy just for future reference. Save that to like Microsoft Word. Every time you're going to go buy something, use my affiliate link to buy something. That way you're not paying me again. You're not paying me. It's not like Patreon. And then go from there. Matt, I'm just about to get off. And you just came on here. We were just talking about all these covered calls, and I was trying to get GW on here too. I'm like, literally, I can't believe I'm still awake. All right, I'm going to conclude everything. Make sure you guys check out Matthew Money and some other investors out there that hop on this channel. I always invite many of the dividend investors I affiliate with on here. I can't believe I'm still awake. The sun beat the crap out of me. And, Matt, I'm not wearing Ohio State shirt, so you'll probably be happy, during that Ohio State, Penn State week. But you guys take care. You guys have been fantastic on this channel. And I'm about to pretty much pass out, get some sleep, and start studying and printing tomorrow. I'll probably post a video tomorrow too, just, nonchalant and stuff. But you guys take care and have a good one.